Mike Timlin, member of the Hall of Fame class of 2026 for the Red Sox. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot. Just to be considered with the names that are on the list, and the people that I watched, and the history of the Red Sox. Of baseball at all, but to see the names that have been there before me. The Williams, the Speakers, Cronin's, and now, to be included with, Ortiz and Schilling and Veritek and Wakefield and, so many others that, I can't remember them all right now, but, it's pretty just amazing. I mean, I don't really – people have told me congratulations this morning as the news are coming across, and I don't really think of myself in that realm. I don't know why.
But you know what? Having covered you great, it's probably part of what made you great, right? Like you never
I hope so.
took any of this for granted, right? Every year you showed up, kind of almost feel like you got to earn your spot on that team.
Right. As we talked earlier, I felt like I had to grind my way to the end. You have to earn every day. I mean, none of this is given. And, we're lucky enough and blessed enough to play a game for a living and make a pretty good living out of it. So it's an honor to be just on the field at times.
I asked you this when we talked on stage, but you had the kind of career most guys dream of. 16 seasons. I looked it up last night. I was doing it I think you averaged 62 appearances per season over 16 seasons, right? Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But 6 different teams, 4 different championships, 2 in Toronto, 2 here. You did a lot of things in a lot of places. But
correct.
This was special for you, wasn't it?
This was
Boston.
Really
you resonated with the fans of Boston. Boston resonated with you.
I did, and one of the reasons, that I get to go back to my Toronto days in the minor leagues. I had my pitching coach was Bill Monbaquette, and to have that grounded part when he came through Boston and Detroit and New York, he instilled, that you have to go out there every day and take advantage of what you have every day. And that made a big impression on me. And it also made a big impression to take a chance and come here to Boston the very first year in 2003. I know it would have made my mom proud, and it would have made Bill proud. So
he was one of my – when I first started this, the conversations he was a hockey – he loved hockey. He would talk hockey.
But all day.
He would pull me aside and sort of teach me – listen, you've been watching baseball, but I'm going to teach you how to watch professional, major league baseball, what these guys do, and learn so much from him.
Absolutely.
I mentioned, the number of games you were able to get into. What were the keys to your durability? How could you post as you did for that long?
I don't. Maybe it was down to determination. There were times, when I was here in Boston, and we've had talks with Tito, and he told me one day. It was that's a different story, but he told me one day, he said, you're gonna have a day off. I mean, he literally walked out of his office, came to my locker, and said, you're gonna have a day off. And I told him, I said, well, I'm still gonna have my nails on. And he's like, no. He goes, put on running shoes. You're not pitching. I'm like, okay. So I go through my regular routine anyway. I'm like, whatever. And I just don't feel like I was, professional if I walked down there in running shoes. So I had I got everything done and did everything normal. And it came down to the 6th and 7th inning, and I got a phone call, and, I get on the phone, and he's like, how do you feel today? And I'm like, I can go. I told you I could go. And, it was just, he wanted to give me a day off, but, the situation demanded that I throw. And
which speaks to the trust, you
absolutely.
And what you meant to him. We're in an era now, velo's never been higher, right? Guys are throwing 100 regularly, guys, but I feel like the command maybe isn't. When you watch pitching today, what's your reaction to it? What do you mean? Guys are doing things that no one's ever done. There's no doubt about it.
No question. And, athletes don't change, but the parameters in which they work, they change. The athletes that you see coming up to the plate, they swing at some pitches that I think they shouldn't swing at and should be a little bit more disciplined. But if it works for them and they're making a living and doing what they're doing, then more power to them. I watch pitching. I get a little bit frustrated. Some of the locations, it just seems, and I know that they're not doing it on purpose and they're trying to hit a spot, but it just doesn't seem that their control is where I think it should be and where it can be, because I've seen it for so many years with guys that don't throw or that can throw 95 to 99. And I know 100 is attainable, but seeing guys throwing that hard and to be erratic, why not? When I ran into Dave Duncan in St. Louis, he goes, why not just back it down to 92 to 94 and have control? And it made sense. So
that's what was always fun about watching you pitch, your control. Setting guys up to we call it sequencing now. I don't know how much we thought about it at the beginning of your career. It's just how you pitch.
It was just setting guys up.
Inside, outside, up, down. You got them chasing. Listen, welcome back. I know you said this is home, and I think speaking for the fans, it'll always be. We'll always have a place for you here at home.
Well, I always, like I said, I always feel at home here, and it's just great to come back.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Red Sox Hall of Famer Mike Timlin.
Wow.
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It does.